Anyway, here with more of what we can expect with these upcoming events, House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer is with us. Sir, good to have you. Let me ask you first, you're going to subpoena Hunter and Jim's bank records. One question has come up a lot, and Speaker McCarthy addressed this over the weekend, that Hunter Biden and likely other family members are going to be subpoenaed as well. But my understanding is there's a process behind this.
Yeah, right. Well, what I said on day one of this investigation is we were going to follow the money. And right now, we followed the money. We found the shell companies. We subpoenaed the bank records of those shell companies. We found wires from 5 different countries, from China to Romania to Ukraine to Russia to Uzbekistan, to the shell companies that were then dispersed to 9 different Biden family members. Now we've taken the 2 leading Biden family members who received the most disbursements from this laundered money from foreign nationals, and that would be Hunter Biden and Jim Biden, and we are now subpoenaing their bank records. So we're following the money. Once we get those bank records and review those bank records, we will continue to follow the money. If that leads to Joe Biden or to Hunter Biden or to Jim Biden, then we will bring them in and subpoena them. But right now, we've been consistent. We've been transparent. We're following the money. And I can tell you, we found over $20 million that the Bidens have received from foreign nationals, and the Biden family cannot say one thing they did to account for what they received that money for.
You've identified 9 Biden family members that have gotten significant amounts of money, including the grandchildren. Now, I'd like to know if Hunter had no experience and was struggling personally at that time of his life, what he actually did for the money that he made, because he got millions. How old were the grandchildren? Do you know the ages of those that got paid and how much money they got paid? I'd like to know what they did for the money that they got paid.
Well, one grandchild was in college when she received the money that had been dispersed through the shell companies. From
I'd imagine I would imagine this grandchild was studying and probably didn't have a lot of time to perform a lot of duties for the money, right? That would be a logical conclusion.
The granddaughter didn't do anything to earn the money. The ex-wives didn't do anything to earn the money. The girlfriend didn't do anything to earn the money. So what happened? What transpired to earn the money? That's what every American should be concerned about. That's why we are entering impeachment inquiry. We need all the tools necessary to get all the information, because we followed the money and it's bad. The Bidens have received millions and millions of dollars from our enemies around the world, and no one can answer one simple question. What did they do to receive the money? We believe that this was a very organized crime ring, because the way the money was dispersed, the creation of all the LLCs and all the shell companies, and the way the money was dispersed to the various Biden family members, this was very organized. But what we've learned from our testimony, from our transcribed interviews, from the emails and from the WhatsApp messages, that Joe Biden was very involved in this. He knew what the family was doing. He communicated with every single person that wired this money to the Bidens, even though he said during the campaign he knew nothing about it and never communicated with them.
Let me ask you this. Nancy Mace, who sits on your committee, South Carolina Congresswoman, told me on my radio show today that she believes the Biden family alone, when all said and done, has accumulated north of $50 million. You've identified over $20 million. Do you believe that number is realistic and right?
I do think it's realistic, because we haven't gotten to Jim Biden yet. This subpoena for Jim Biden's personal bank records will be the first crack at Jim Biden. Remember, Jim Biden didn't leave a laptop lying around. So it's not been as easy to track his transactions, but he was probably more aggressive at shaking people down than Hunter Biden was. And we know how aggressive Hunter Biden was because he left the laptop lying around. So now
we also have the
getting
WhatsApp
to the
message. I'll make certain that between the man sitting next to me, my father, and every person he knows, my ability to forever hold a grudge, that you will regret not following my direction, which implicates his father, by the way, again. And shortly thereafter, $5 million was wired. That was another company. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but let me ask you this question. This is important to me. All right, so 61% of the American people now believe that Joe was involved in this business dealings. They have now changed the narrative. First it was, I never spoke to my son, to my brother, or anybody for that matter. Then it was, oh, the president was never in business with his son. Now they're claiming that Hunter did not share his business or his profits with his father, which is contradicted by Hunter saying that half his income goes to his father. It's contradicted by emails to the money guy at Rosemont Seneca, Eric Schwerwin. What account should I use to pay for this home repair bill of my dad? 10% from the big guy. So my question is with all these people out there saying there's no evidence, you've looked at 170 suspicious activity reports flagged by banks to the Treasury Department. You know, you've identified well over tens of millions of dollars funneled into this complex web of shell companies and LLCs. That would seem like evidence to me. Then you look at, Devin Archer's testimony. 20 times Hunter speaking to Pops with his foreign business partners, the Cafe Milano meetings with the Russian oligarch and others at other times. The idea that the 1023 form said specifically that then Vice President Biden took specific action in exchange for the firing of the prosecutor that resulted in his son with no experience and addicted to drugs at the time getting paid. That all sounds like evidence to me, Congressman. I don't know. Certainly evidence that would raise the eyebrow of any Democrat if it was Donald Trump's name.
It's overwhelming. The evidence is overwhelming. We have the bank records. We've published 3 bank memorandums. This first hearing, we're going to review the evidence because so many in the mainstream media want to take the White House talking points and say there's no evidence. The evidence is overwhelming. But you look at Joe Biden, the communication where Hunter complained about having to give half his salary to Joe, the emails you mentioned where Joe's bills were due and Eric Sherwin asked Hunter Biden, when are you going to pay for these bills? Your dad's bills are overdue. So now we're subpoenaing the personal bank records, and we'll see where that takes us next.
All right, Congressman, we're not buying their lie that there's no evidence. We look forward to your continued investigation and the testimony and the banking records of Jim and Hunter Biden. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.